Tonight about the state's medical board and whether you're being protected by changes in how they check doctors' backgrounds.
State investigations and numerous firings have some concern about whether the board that's supposed to protect us is really doing its job. Tonight, ABC 15 investigator Joe Ducey is getting some answers.
You trust them with your health, that your doctor had the right background checks and a clean record. But this woman says, don't count on it.
To me, it's a matter of time before someone is harmed.
Linda Scorzo's talking about changes made by the Arizona Medical Board, which licenses physicians. For 6 years, she worked in their licensing department, trying to keep the bad docs out by double-checking applicants' backgrounds.
Medical school, their training, all of their training, their certifications.
Eric Evans worked there too.
If there was an incident, was it something that was rectified or not?
They checked with past schools, past employers, hospitals, to see if what's on a physician's application is true.
But here's what you don't know. In late 2011, employees were told to stop making some of the background checks in order to speed up the process. During that time, 1,530 physicians were licensed to practice in Arizona, and Scorzo worries some past troubles may not have been discovered. So what could happen?
A physician who has problem in another state that you don't want out here practicing, out here setting up a shingle.
What were routine employment and hospital history checks stopped. And a doctor's word was enough if they said they were a board-certified specialist. This memo we obtained states licensees will not need to submit proof.
You could be going to have some really invasive surgery, and we're saying that Dr. X is board certified, and they're really not.
We were really in the process of finding ways to eliminate steps that didn't make sense anymore, but continue to protect the public.
Medical Board Executive Director Lisa Wynn says she was trying to speed up an outdated licensing process. The results have been drastic. Records show licenses that took the board an average 41 days to process before changes took as little as 3 days after.
What are you leaving out?
A lot of work for state employees.
Wynn says information can be found online, and she points to the National Practitioner Data Bank.
I'd say that's one piece of it. The first step is the doctor's attesting that everything he's telling you is true.
Which could or could not be the case.
Absolutely.
She says problems would be investigated, but the website states it shouldn't be a sole source, and Scorzo says bad information may not show up for months. She and Evans say they expressed serious public safety concerns. Both were fired.
My services were no longer needed.
That I needed to be on board with the changes.
You are board certified?
The ABC 15 investigators talked with 2 more licensing employees fired and 2 who quit. All say they expressed concerns about the board's direction.
What can you tell me about that?
You know, I really can't share anything regarding personnel matters.
And Scorzo took her concerns further. It prompted an investigation by the Arizona Ombudsman and sent to state legislators. It found the board violated state law by relying on the data bank, not verifying a 5-year history of hospital affiliations and employment. So in October, 11 months after stopping the checks, the board went back to making them, but not before 1,530 doctors were licensed without the same double checks and verifications.
Not one single patient safety issue has come up as a result of that decision.
You don't see the public harm, tomorrow when you change your licensing verification forms today.
Senator Nancy Barto chairs the committee overseeing the medical board. She says legislative action is possible, concerned about what may not be found in a doctor's background.
That they don't have any dings on their record from another state, that what they say on their application is true, that it's been verified.
Barto is waiting for the results of 2 new ombudsman investigations concerning the medical board. One involves the firing of Eric Evans. Meanwhile, Wynn says that the board is licensing according to statute, but she's working to change those rules. So what are your concerns? Email me or tell me about them on my ABC 15 Facebook page. I'm investigator Joe Ducey, ABC 15 News.
Well, at least there's one thing you can check on your own. Joe talked about board certifications, and there's an easy way to find out if your doctor has that certification in their specialty.
Yeah, it's so simple. It's a website. It's easy to check right now. In fact, we've got a link for you on abc15.com/investigators.